Hello students, welcome back to the class. Students, today we will be learning chapter number 28, that is the punctuation mark. So students, in this chapter we will learn about the punctuation marks, the various kinds of punctuation marks, where do we use them and how do we use them. So students, before we get this chapter started, let us first of all read the passage that is being given in the book. I will read it out for you. In the meantime, the captain gradually brightened up at his own music, and at the last flapped his hand upon the table before him. In a way we all knew to mean science. The voices stopped at once, all but Dr. Livesey's. He went on as before, speaking clear and kind. The captain glared at him for a while, flapped his hand, again glared still harder, and at the last broke out angrily. So now students, I just read the passage out for you. But if you see, it is very easy to read, but it is little difficult to understand what the writer is trying to convey us through this passage. It is little difficult. Why? Because there are no pauses in that, and the punctuation marks are used for the very purpose. They are actually the symbols which are used to you know indicate the pause in the sentences. If we want to let us say, if we want to separate certain parts of the speech, okay, if we want to separate certain words in the sentences, so we use the punctuation marks for that. And after using the punctuation marks, the meaning or what we are trying to convey in our speech or in the sentence that we are writing, it becomes very clear, and the reader or the listener can clearly figure out what we are trying to convey. So students, there are different punctuation marks that we use, but the most commonly used ones are, first one is the full stop, the comma, the question mark, the semicolon, the colon, the apostrophe, the inverted commas. So students, first of all, we will be learning about the first one, which is the full stop. So students, full stop is simply represented dot, and this indicates the longest pause in a sentence. And students, where it is used, first thing is it is used at the end of assertive and the imperative sentences. So now we need to quickly revise what are the assertive and the imperative sentences. So students, assertive sentences are the sentences in which we make a declaration, in which we make a statement, be it positive or negative. That is the assertive sentence. Now what are the imperative sentences? Students, imperative sentences are the sentences in which we give a command to someone, in which we order to someone, sentences in which we make a request. So such kind of sentences are the imperative sentences. And the full stop is used right in the end of the assertive and the imperative sentences. Now if you see in the example, it is very warm inside the room, open the door. So now this is a request that we are making to someone. So in the end we are using the full stop. Our team could not win the match although we tried very hard. Again, after this is an assertion, and after this we are using a full stop in the end of the sentence. Second is after an abbreviation. So students, abbreviation are actually the, when we say na in your as you people say, the short form. Okay, so those are the abbreviation, the short forms, like A.S. Fernandez, M.A., PhD. So students, these are the abbreviations, and if we have to separate the abbreviations, we put the full stop in between them. As you can see, there are the simple dots are there now. So these dots are actually the full stop, which we have used to separate the abbreviations. Like after A we have put a dot, after S again we have put a dot. MA, that is the Masters of Art. We are separating M with A by using the dot, which is known as the full stop. Now students, one thing that you need to remember here is that the abbreviations of the words which are like very popular, which are very commonly used, in that case the usage of this full stop can be omitted or it can be avoided, like VIP, IPS. We all know that IPS stands for Indian Police Services. So that is a very well known abbreviation. So it is not required to put a dot or to use comma or to use full stop in it. So we will simply write IPS, IAS, IFS. Okay. And one more thing, students. Now, if you need, we all need to just quickly read this. When the abbreviations end with the final letter of the word, the full stop may be omitted. Like if you see here, DR, DR is actually for the doctor. So if you see the spelling of doctor is DOCTOR. So this abbreviation is actually ending with the last letter of the word. So in this case we do not have to necessarily use the full stop. In this case it can be omitted or it can be avoided, like Mr., mistress, saint. So all these are ending with the last letter of the word, so therefore we can avoid the usage of full stop cases. So students, that's all for the first part of the explanation of this chapter. I will see you in the second part of the explanation. Until then, bye.